So I was talking about accountability and somebody just dropped in, connected. And so we talked about that accountability also. And I spoke about the meaningful mission to that person, and it made my day. So I thank you, that person, for joining in. And it was a great talking to him. In every area of life, we can be intentional about setting up and monitoring these three levels of accountability to ensure we take action and do what we say we want to do in pursuit of our meaningful mission. Help from the pros. I enlist support from professionals all the time. These professionals can be therapists, coaches, pastors, and mentors. They are experts in the skill for which you want accountability. This type of support can be absolutely critical to your success because they give you an opportunity to learn new skills or just get outside your own head for a valuable perspective. But it may be helpful to think of them more as accountability coaches rather than accountability buddies. The other thing about professional accountability is that it usually does not come cheap. I hire trainers to help me stay in shape, and it works. Because I pay for these services, I know how silly I will look if I skip out on something I have already paid for. But if you cannot afford a professional, I encourage you to seek other options such as community organizations or non-profits that may be of help. Olympic athletes have coaches. Why do we think we can do it without them? Jen Sincero, best-selling author of You Are a Badass, hit me with that question when I interviewed her. Why would we be surprised that we fail when we try to build a new skill set from nothing? Pride looks obvious when we step back and see it for that it is. Even from Brady had an entire team of coaches and experts surrounding him. So, does star tennis player Novak Djokovic, who have been on the School of Greatness show twice? I have personally seen his professional team at work as they keep him accountable on things like stretching and recovery and ensuring he gets the ideal sleep after all of his tennis matches. He travels everywhere with a custom trailer that houses a complete recovery system, including a sauna and everything else he needs to stick to his fitness regimen. Jen noted that although professionals may not be cheap, they can save you time and money in the long run because they have the expertise to help you progress much more quickly than you would on your own. I have found that I can make progress in some areas on my own, but I just don't know everything. And I especially don't know what I don't know. A professional can help you see what you can't see and learn what you don't even know is available to be learned. That is why I often rely on professional accountability coaches to help me improve my business, relationships, and wellness. Professional accountability doesn't even have to be with a person. Sometimes when I'm traveling, I'll use an app online that gives me workout routines, meal plans, and advice on mindset, meditation, and sleep. The app helps hold me accountable because it provides a calendar for all the dates that I am supposed to work out. And at the end of each workout, I have to take a photo to prove to myself that I accomplished the goal. For me, I just want to make sure I get to the photo. Another example might be using an app like mint.com or similar tools in place of a professional accountability partner in your finances. The options are endless to enlist support from professionals, and I can guarantee you will need to do so in some way as you progress on this greatness journey. When she was on my show, cognitive neuroscientist Carolyn Leaf advocated for therapy as one of the best support systems. I have talked a lot about the value of therapists, but even then, you need to recognize that therapists won't do the work for you. As Carolyn puts it, You are still living with yourself 24/7. That is why you need all the layers of accountability, even when enlisting professional support. Like I said earlier, you are always in charge of you. And that's good news. The more layers of accountability you put in place, the more likely you will stick to your commitment. Experiment and see what combinations work for you. Dangers to avoid. There are some things to consider as you put support and accountability in place. In general, it's hard to go wrong, but here are a few tips I have learned that can help you avoid speed bumps along the way. First, avoid choosing accountability partners who are no fun. It sounds simple, but achieving your goals doesn't need to be a core you dread. I have found that I am much more likely to keep up with something if I can make it fun. And a large part of this depends on the other people involved. For example, I am currently training with the great boxer and former Olympic bronze medalist, Tony Jeffries. He really puts through strenuous workout every time we meet. We could make it feel grueling and unenjoyable, but we actually have fun with it. Almost every time while I'm putting on my gloves, I start raising him. Hey, what does it feel like to know that you are about to get destroyed by your student? What does it feel like being an Olympic medalist knowing that a beginner is about to whoop your butt? Then he starts saying stuff back. And before we know it, we are smiling, having fun, and getting a great workout. He just makes the experience enjoyable, even though he destroys me every time. So it is worth the effort to find the coach, mentor, or accountability buddy that you are actually excited to be around. Second, avoid choosing partners who bring negativity as opposed to positivity into your life. Being around toxic people will only drain you, not help you. In all that you do, ask yourself whether the people and actions involving them are bringing you more joy and health. If the answer is no and shows no evidence of becoming a yes, rethink that partnership. How many times have you set goals that you were super excited about only to feel like they were unachievable after sharing them with some friends and getting ridiculed? More than you would probably like to remember, right? That may mean you need to distance yourself from communities that have become toxic to your growth. And that is okay. As you grow and change, those needs change. Third, avoid people who are not invested in your success. You have to ask yourself, how important is it to this person that I succeed? You do not want to lean on anyone who is rooting for you to fail or is indifferent to your success. Thomas Frank shared a story with me that perfectly contrasted a good partner with a bad one. Thomas made a goal for himself to read 25 minutes of nonfiction every day. To hold himself accountable, he promised a friend $100 if he missed a single day. This friend had exactly the right attitude everyone needs from an accountability partner. I don't want your filthy money if you fail, he told Thomas. So don't fail. Compare this response to another friend who wanted to take Thomas up on his deal so he could actively root for Thomas to fail and make an easy $100. The moral of the story is to be careful to choose accountability partners who will not take pleasure in your failure. Right? Fourth, avoid holding on to irrelevant or unsolicited advice. You do not always get a choice about who is involved in your life. People will hurl unsolicited opinions your way, but it is up to you whether you stick your hand out and catch them or let them whiz by. Former US Secret Service Special Agent A.V. Pomporas shared with me a way she makes this choice intentionally. Anytime someone offers their opinion, Avi asks herself, who is this person and why should I listen to them? If those questions have no good answer, Avi lets the criticism go by without notice. Evie has discovered that often people base their opinions on their own lives instead of your situation. This is why it is so important to continually align yourself with your values and meaningful mission. Because if your values are different from your critics, your decisions should probably be different too. Another way to avoid being influenced by others' irrelevant advice is to think through your mission carefully. Jordan Peterson has found that people's comments usually only influence us if already if we already have doubts. If you have thoroughly planned and prepared, you will be able to respond to criticism and securely know that you are enough. You are ready and it is possible when you believe that no one can stop you. Fifth, avoid going too extreme with your goals. Trying to do all areas of your life in the most extreme way all at once simply will not work. For example, if you are trying to accomplish financial goals and physical health goals all at the same time with the same energy, you might say something like this: I'm not going to spend any money for the next 3 months. That means I'm not going to buy any more coffees on the way work. I'm going to cook everything at home and personally prepare all my meals every week. I'll go grocery shopping every few days to make sure all my ingredients are fresh and healthy. I'm going to do everything perfectly and save and eat as healthy as possible. And I will work out every day, twice a day. That is an extreme mentality, and it will probably fail miserably, leaving you more discouraged than ever. Going super extreme on things is the opposite of the natural flow of life, which consists of working in phases and allowing things to progress. For example, if you really need to make a drastic change in your health, you might decide to go all in and tackle a 90 days challenge. However, you need to recognize that it will take an emotional toll and impact the rest of your life. So you may need to dial back your commitments in other areas to support that change for a season. Otherwise, you will run yourself ragged and end up slipping in your other commitments. That will hurt you more in the long run because you might be tempted to take a slip up as permission to give up completely. Engaging greatness. Exercise 1. Handling irrelevant or unsolicited advice. Before you act on anyone's advice, you should ask yourself some important questions about the person. In fact, I advise you to think carefully before you even share your goal with someone. Before you bring your meaningful mission to someone, you want to know that person will treat it and you with respect. And with this exercise, you will practice assessing and responding to potential accountable bodies. Identify what is the decision you are currently making about your meaningful mission. This might be an investment decision, a choice about the next appropriate step, or the choice to start that mission. Who has the potential to influence this decision? Is it a spouse, a partner, a parent, a friend? Keep in mind the people who influence you might not be the same people you go to for advice. People often share their thoughts whether you ask or not. You might even be influenced by their actions. Have you ever tried something because it seemed to work out well for someone else? Note this decision and the involved persons. Step 2. Assess. You have a right to be choosy about who you let you influence your life. You probably have some professional accountability partners such as a trainer, therapist, a financial planner. Did you research these people before trusting them? Why should your accountability bodies be any different? Answer the questions below about the persons you answered in step 1. Is this person qualified to give advice in this area? Is their advice specific to my situation or is it based on their experiences, good or bad? Is this person invested in my success? Does this person have anything to gain from my failing or not trying? Will this person be a coach or a critic? What did you learn from your research? Is this persons worthy of being an accountability buddy? If the answer is yes, how do you want them to hold you accountable? Be sure to build a commitment device. This could be financial, a blow to your pride if you attach honor to your word, or maybe some other creative form of embarrassment. Write your plan below. If the answer is no, what is your plan to remove this person from this process? You might not want to cut the person out of your life, but you might need to avoid the topic of your mission. Plan now what you can say if this person asks a question related to your mission. One strategy is to remain vague and quickly get off the topic. Only the best. On your greatness journey, you deserve great partners to hold you accountable and share advice. Make sure the partners in your life bring out your best, not their best, or what they think should be your best, your truest and best self. Be your own worst critic. It has been said that the only reason criticism hurts is because we already have doubts. As with a lot of things, the best way to avoid problems later is to front load the work. This exercise will help you lay a strong foundation so you can confidently face any criticism. Critic, you probably believe strongly in your mission. I hope you do. But set aside that confidence for a moment and imagine you are a critic. Write down every opposing argument you can think of. A good place to start is with whatever you feel most insecure about, whether that is something about yourself or about your idea. Resolve the issues. If you give if you gave that step your all, it was probably uncomfortable. That is good. Discomfort now means confidence later when it counts. Now, what do you need to do to overcome those insecurities and counter those arguments? Do you need to do more research? Do you need data or other form of evidence? You might need to bring a new member to your team if you do not have the expertise to overcome an objection. For example, if your mission involves designing a new product, you might need to consult with an engineer. Write out your game plan for addressing the weak spots in your ideas. This is a perfect time to enlist the help of your accountability support to help make sure you see your plans through. Constructive criticism. We all want great missions. The whole reason you take on a mission is because you care about something strongly enough to devote yourself to it. This passion makes it painful to see our plans as anything but great. But if you don't critique it, someone else will. If you are so close to your mission that you cannot fault it at all, go on someone you trust and ask them to give an honor critic. Exercise 3, gamify. Hard work and dedication will only take you so far. The best way to ensure success is at something is to enjoy the process. That means bringing intentionally into the way you structure your goals so that it appeals to your fun side. First, you need to identify what fun means to you. Then you can plan that type of fun into your task. Those are the objectives for this exercise. Define fun. Fun usually involves a reward of some sort. If you are a parent, you may have awarded prizes or stickers to your kids to make sports fun. Some competitive athletes are driven by the reward of a win. Others might feel that beating their personal best is the greatest reward. What kind of reward motivates you? Circle all that apply to you. Material rewards, physical evidence of progress, words of affirmation from others, money, cheats like a cheat day, beating your personal best, beating someone else. Step 2, structure fun into challenges. For each of the rewards you circle, consider the ways you can build that type of reward into your task. Here are few suggestions to help you out. Material rewards. Unfortunately, as adults, we don't have anyone rewarding us with trinkets or stickers, but you can do something similar for yourself. There is nothing wrong with allowing yourself little indulgences now and then, as long as they do not harm yourself or others. This is not permission to spend beyond your means or indulge in harmful coping mechanism. But if flowers make you happy, buy yourself a bouquet. If renting a movie helps you unwind after a week of hard work, go for it. Physical evidence of progress. The options are nearly unlimited for you. Track your progress using graphs, checklists, photos, or completed piles or folders. Calendars can be great place to visually reward yourself for tasks that repeat daily. Words of affirmation from others. This is where your accountability support really helps. Your accountability partners should be people who you count on to bring positivity and praise into your life. Remember, though, that you need to be your own main source of affirmations. Something you can do is write yourself affirming notes or letters to yourself to refer back to whenever things get tough. Money. One option is to arrange a financial penalty for yourself. It is possible that your successes could make or save your money, though. Consider if you are reaping any financial benefits not immediately obvious. For example, your goal might be to eat healthy, but you might reap the side benefit of saving money when you skip eating out. Build in limited compromises for yourself. If you need to, revisit Marisa Sharif's emergency reserve strategy. Beating your personal best. See if your task can be quantified in any way. You might track time, production, speed, profit, etc. Track these numbers and see how far you can push yourself. Another option is to create challenges for yourself and see if you can figure out a way to make the impossible happen. Beating someone else. Try involving your accountability buddy in some friendly competition. Just be careful not to let this reward turn toxic, toxic by comparing yourself to unrealistic counterparts. Invest wisely. Remember, whether it to be time, money, or relationships, an investment in your happiness is an investment in your long-term success. So that's it for today, and hope this has been very productive for you. Thank you for watching, and if you like it, just subscribe to the channel. Thank you.